These super secret Area 51 employees are going to love it here at their new mixed-use Area 51 park, where everyone gets to enjoy each other's secrets, gets to go into underground lair. Yeah, it looks kind of nice here. You have streets, you have parking, the surrounding buildings, office and warehouses and hangars. I would love to work here. It's been a dream of mine since I was a child. So let's get right to it. Hi, and welcome to my channel, ATX Architect, where we work tirelessly to trim every ounce of fat from the work that is architecture. And the goal is to really enjoy this job and to really have our work process flow from one thing to the next with no wasted click, essentially. Today I'm going to showcase this project I've been commissioned to do at Area 51 for the employees there. I'm going to run through that in a minute. And I'm using a secret weapon, secret tool here, which I'll also go over. My name is Brent A. Bear, if I didn't say that already, and I'm going to continue to produce more content here on this channel. So here I am working. The way that this works is, as some of you know already, I'm always talking about, I like to work in one view, just have one heads-up display view where I can essentially control everything and see all of the information in my project. To get a little tour here, we have a floor plan, a 3D view, some sections, and I've even placed here, you can kind of see all of the different plants involved and how to get the types of graphics that I'm getting. And I'm really trying to showcase what's possible graphically in Revit. And if you have things set up properly, you actually can get great graphics and they can be automated. So every time you do a project, it's the same. You get consistent graphics. You don't have to waste time photoshopping any of that. It's all done for you. So the idea here is, as you work in any of these views, as you make changes to these volumes, you're going to see the data on the heads-up display change with it, and you're going to see your required parking, required cars, all of that updated. Basically all of your project-wide data happens on this sheet. And as you make changes to the views here, the scale here, it actually automatically updates all of these sheets in the background, including the data here. And again, the graphics you don't have to touch. You just basically build the massings, the highest and best use study, and throw trees in here, and your curbs and roads essentially, and you have a automated presentation. All of this stuff you don't really ever have to touch. I'm just going through it to show you kind of what it looks like. To get access to this file, the link's down in the description. This thing is a game changer. It's going to if you do a lot of master planning, a lot of site plan designs, this this Revit template is amazing. It's going to do a lot of heavy lifting for you. So let's dive right in. I'm going to change. Basically, I'm using options, the option sets in Revit to show different progress. Holy cow! I want to show different progress through this project, and also show you how you can actually have multiple projects in one Revit file using design options, essentially. So this is the master plan, the big wide master plan for Area 51 that I created, existing master plan. What I'm going to do is, on this sheet, I'm going to change the scale of these two views here, and you'll see what happens when I do this. We basically need to scale this so that it fits inside of this box, and that's going to scale our plan. You can actually see, if we go to these other sheets, that our views are way off. Like the scale of this view is way off. So I'm going to change these views should match in scale. I'm making them exactly the same, and that looks better. Now you can see I've modeled every building on here, and there's like 200 buildings on here. So we're going to see, that I've changed this. You're going to see the updated data applied to what's in this actual design option. So you can see lots of buildings, so it's running way off the page here. But if we go to our cover sheet now, we should see, yes, that's good. We can see our view looks better now. This is obviously huge. This is like a huge master plan. The scale is, kind of funky because of that. But where we're going to focus in on is actually, this is just crazy. So I'm going to go back to my dashboard. We're going to focus in on this area here. And this is what I have my next design option for, is if I go here, go to option 2. I have zoomed in and created a whole different set of context, and you can see these these are tiny now because I'm only modeling that small area. So we're going to change these the scale of these one more time here. And you'll see this is going to start looking pretty nice on our presentation. Now this is grayed out because we're not on our main design option, so this will actually be the darker scheme, but this is fitting on there, looks pretty decent composition wise. This is what we're going to focus on, and so as I move up the next progression here, option 3, check this out. Yeah, so we get rid of, you can see all the data goes away. We got rid of those little residential, I don't know what the Army calls them, but residences, and we just cleared it out. So the next step, we go to option 4. You can see I'm adding some roads. Yeah, nice, and some parking. So this parking actually, it's a nice parking family that this comes with. You can drag it in and out, and as you do that, it actually updates the car's provided number right here, which is pretty nice. It's not bad. So let's go to the next option, option 5. You imagine this in the middle of the desert, like just like this mixed-use shopping center. Okay, so yeah, now we started adding the first floor, some green space and some trees. All of these trees is kind of placed all over the place here. Let's take a look. See, this is all populating back to the presentation, so I'm just skipping ahead because I already modeled these things. Nice, it's looking good. It's looking good. Option 6, it's just building up even more. So watch. There's a lot more geometry that gets added. So yeah, so we have more data here. We're about halfway up as I'm building the site up. There we go. So you can see these could all technically be completely different projects. So this is the completed one here. Go to cover. So now we have all of this, and you don't have to touch the graphics here. They're set for you. They're done, and I'll go into that in more detail here. But when you download this file, you'll see these sheets all come preloaded, and you can fit any kind of project on here, really any scale of project. All of this data here is now updated. Okay, now that's cool. So let's dive into the graphics. I have this open option 9 design option here. So kind of the first thing that we want to do is bring in the context around the project. So many of you may already know, but if you go to cadmapper.com, I literally typed in Area 51 and this popped up. It's nice. I set my 3D buildings to be turned on. I want AutoCAD, mesh surfaces for roads, 8, 8, 8, and 5 for your meters, and all that's good. You can drag this around, until this free file gets, you can't grab too much area without having to pay. So luckily our site fits in here. This is at Area 51, fits in here nicely. You go create file, and this is just you're going to save so much time just doing things this way. 2D view, download this. Already done that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to insert. I always do it this way. Link CAD. Don't ever import CAD. You want to link CAD. This pops up, and I have a 51.4 video. That is for this video. Obviously, you want to set this to meters, and colors black and white. That's going to be the best. Okay, open. Oh, you know what? Okay, before you do that, you actually have to open up their 3D view to do that. You don't want to do that while you have any other sheet open. Just trust me on this. So yeah, click the 3D icon here. I'm going to grab this. It's set to go to B3 automatically. It's the lowest. So I'm going to grab and set this to B1, to the first floor, -1. Nice foot. Okay, so that looks pretty lame. We can go ahead and close this. We don't need it again. So, I'm going to unpin this and move it so that it fits kind of in this box. And okay, let's check out. We can see what this looks like, right, on all of our views. There's obviously nothing here, so there's no data being presented. This is literally just, you see, it doesn't look great. It does not look great. So this is my recommended settings for this. If we go to manage, I believe, yeah, object styles, go to imported objects and go to that. Under category, you should find the CAD file you just did, which is, in this case, it's this one. I'm going to turn off, well, you can't do it here, you can't turn it off here, but to change your line work and to change your colors and materials that are preloaded into this CAD file, this is where you do that. So I'm going to change my line work on the minor and major roads. Instead of black, I want these to be gray at 239. And you can either download this file and get all this stuff as an example with this, or you can just copy what I'm doing here and rebuild all this yourself. It's a lot. That's so much that I've built here. 239. Okay. I'm just going to change the render material to a material I have in here specifically for this. And I believe it's, let's see, road context. There we go. Road context. Great. And for buildings, I just want to change the line work to 188 is good. So that's that. Boom. Here we go. In terms of your context looking, pretty good. That's all it takes is just that. So to go into further settings, I'm going to go back to okay. Also, I decided I wanted to zoom in a little bit farther here, so I'm going to go to, this is my main design option here, zoomed in even a little bit more. I cropped, the CAD map a little bit more, so this is where I'm going to end. Again, these two views should match each other. Sweet. Okay. And once again, if we go back through, it's going to show up nice and large on the cover sheet, and these other sheets, it's going to look pretty neat, I think. So yeah, if we zoom in here, each one of these elements is individual. You can modify the shape of it to get your different square footages, obviously. Wanting to highlight that. So this, I want to show you, if I go into here and start just kind of deleting things, you're going to see this shift on the right. That's how this works on a higher level. So I'm going to show you real quick here. That's one project split into multiple design options. Now check out kind of a few different sample projects that this will come with, and this will actually be added to the sample projects when you download this file that you can play around with. Here's like kind of another standard mixed use project. Gonna have some, doesn't come with context. You can kind of see what it looks like without. Although I prefer having some context. Actually, graphically nicely draws your eye in. And this is like a master plan project of multiple single family homes. Again, kind of looks great. Changing the scale of these, can improve the graphics. This will show that you can also do kind of just a single lot or a single building even. So this is like a small multifamily project, a lot smaller. We could change the scale to propagate back and have this all scaled and looking good, and having our data look good as well. And this is the single building, like a single office building. Also pretty small here, yeah. But it's nice that you can go through and see all of this stuff is set up for you. You wouldn't have to change it. It's automated graphics. I'm going to go back to this view and basically end by showing you my view settings. So if I go into my view template to achieve this kind of view setting, which is the same view settings that are going to be used basically across all of these views and floor plans. Okay, so dashboard, go to my view template. I'm using under model display, I'm using consistent colors. Okay, and I've got this checked smooth lines because I really want to see the presentation looking good, because this is like a diagram, but it's functional because there's data tied to it. These are all functional diagrams, all looking at the same project, all with everything in one place. So you can check out my shadow settings from here. I'm casting shadows and I'm showing ambient shadows. It kind of gives it that little bit of uneven shading, which gives it a little bit more of a realistic vibe. And on my lighting, I've got the sun at 30, ambient light 26, and shadows at 24. Those are the settings that I'm using essentially to achieve overall this effect. Not to mention, the colors. I've chosen the colors. If I want to change this up here to, just as an example, to warehouse, a 30-foot tall warehouse at the top of this. I know it's ridiculous, but the color changes, I have that set specifically because I've tested out lots of colors and lots of settings, including with how the trees kind of look on here. All of that has been curated to look as good as possible, as good as Revit can possibly do, and this is kind of the end result. So it shows that it just goes to show that you can do a lot with Revit. You can go a lot more extreme with the graphics, but also just the general usefulness and functionality of tying a bunch of data together. And you can even see it's color coded up here nicely for you. So if you're interested in using this file, using this process, hit the link in this video. Also give this a thumbs up and a like. This, it kind of feels really funny saying stuff like this, but that's the way it works with YouTube. It would really help me out. And just real quick, before I end here, I'll show you. You'll once you do head to the link in the description and go to the site and get access to the file. You'll also get access to these basically training videos, these how-to videos. It shows you step by step every little step in the way, everything that you'll encounter is nicely organized under here. And you can see there's a video above and text below. This is all exclusive once you get access to the file. So I hope that's been helpful, enlightening. Let me know if you would enjoy making a trip to Area 51 and seeing that there's like an oasis in the desert out here, and you can. It's like a museum, or maybe there's some rides or something that has something to do with aliens and UFOs. Yeah, you might be asking why would you do this project in Area 51, and my answer would be, well, if you're going to do a fake project anywhere, I'm going to do it someplace really cool. So anyway, that's it for me. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.